Welcome to the podcast here on Pollute Your Soul. I'm the host, MikeSerpentine here. We're going to be talking to pyro6x. Thank you for coming on the show, man. Thanks a lot. How have you been doing lately, man? What you been up to with the music shit?
Appreciate it. Straight, just clicking up. Got the album on the way to RX Poppy. Whole lot of shit going on.
Yeah, so talk about like where you coming from and what type of music can we expect from you?
I'm from North Florida. It's like I'm from a town called Mariana. It's like right at the tip top of Florida. Uh, mainly, mainly like dark Detroit type of shit, but sometimes I switch it up and like I try to make raves type shit. I used to make a lot of sample drill when that was popping, but I kind of got off that.
You
But
mean
right
like the
now,
I'm God one?
yeah,
Yeah, that was, what do they call that, aesthetic drill or some shit?
hell yeah. It was
That
like a
was
small
good though.
phase I was going through. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, that was like, okay. He's known as like historic hip hop production, like in terms of like the God shit. You know what I mean? Because like it's like if you don't know, if you're in underground rap and you don't know like God or like old clammy clams, you know what I mean? It's like, are you a Clams
Yeah.
Casino fan? Would you say you are?
Yeah, I use a couple of the samples anyways. That missed one. I don't know if you heard that one on my YouTube. Yeah, I tried to sample that. I think it's called Sandstorm, something like that. Or I think no Sandman. It's called Sandman. I tried to sample that, but I just can't get it right.
Sandman by the John with ASAP Rocky.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, some
yeah,
samples it's like you just can't. It's just not
yeah,
possible.
yeah, yeah. I just left it alone. I can't do much of that legendary piece.
So like when you're making beats, what's more fun, making the melodies or sampling?
I'll say making the melodies for me.
And why is that? Is it like more to manipulate? You know what I mean? With the
Yeah. Like it's sampling is cool, but when more like making my own melodies, I can make like switch ups more often. Like I can do it differently. Like I keep forgetting what it's called. It's like it's the switch up after like 4 bars, have something going on different. But main time with samples, it's really just one thing going on, and it's like hard to find a sample with like two parts in it that you can use.
yeah,
But I fuck
that
with
totally
doing
makes
both.
sense. Yeah. It's like there's only some, and it's like you can only really do much if like you know like how to like look up like the music and how to manipulate the notes. But most of the time, like it's like you kind of just go off how it sounds with the sample, and it's not like there's not much you can do. That totally makes
Hell
sense.
yeah,
What type of
exactly.
production can we like expect from your project with RX Poppy?
It's mainly like dark, grimy Detroit. Not like no fast paced Detroit shit, but like dark, grimy, like kind of sloping around like 150 to one. I think the highest beat on there is like 170 BPM. It's not too fast, not too slow, and just some dark, grimy shit on there.
Yeah, just like because sometimes this Detroit beats go to like 190 or
Yeah,
180, and it's like it's funny
yeah.
though. It's just like the way they come in and punch in on those beats, but you know it's a good sound though for real.
Yeah. Maybe, maybe hard to sell though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I was in the studio with someone making some like Detroit type stuff, and he was just going like so fast and rapid, and it was like very like he was punching in and punching. It was pretty good. So how did you like first come to work with RX Poppy?
I still remember this shit by heart. Right? It's kind of funny at the same time though, because listen, you're not gonna believe how that really happened. It was about like 12 o'clock at night. I was just playing Red Dead Redemption. Then next thing I know, I checked my phone. I was on the phone with my girl, but I just checked my phone. Next thing I see is somebody trying to send me a message. You know, I like on the screen when it says, so and someone sent you a message. But some dude he had said, "Yo, Artist Poppy had stole your beats and used them," and like trying to sell opens on them. I was like, "Oh, crazy! That's crazy!" I saw he had posted on the story. Artist had posted down the story in his post. I slid up, and he had said, "Oh yeah," I said, "Hey, these my beats and shit like that." And he said, "Oh, you tough." I said, "Appreciate it." And then like I said, that was late at night. That was like late at night, so I fell asleep about like 10 minutes after that. Then I woke up and I was talking to him again. He was talking about call him and shit, talking about how he found me because I like it's a laser effect that be giving him my Detroit beats, and that's
Yeah, I
how
know
he
what you
found
mean.
me. And I said, that's how he found me and shit. And basically, this is like I say about early March when that went down. Then after that, I was like, he was like, we'll just start being cool and all the like producer rapper collabs and shit. And so I just kept sending him beats every day. And officially he let me on RX, Dog Shit Records. And after that, I didn't even know if to make an album with all my beats. I thought it just felt like it'd be like one song and done. But now like bro went and made a whole album. I'm kinda glad I kept sending beats and shit. And after that, started he set the post up and everything. Let's get straight up from there.
So like, you're officially on Dog Shit Records. That's
Yeah, yeah.
so like, what other artists are in that group, and like, what would you say it's like working with musicians over there?
Before, I don't know if you're familiar with RX Brainstorm Crazy on the Beat. I think you know him. I'm finna start working with him soon. I already got one with RSK Nephew.
Ooh,
He's a funny ass guy. I like them. Bro cool as hell. Um, but yeah, I finna get shit with Brainstorm soon. He finna send me some loops soon. Finna get that, cook it up. And all I can say right now is they all cool as hell for real. Like, good opportunity for me.
yeah. There's a lot of like RX Nephew's got a lot of like love in the underground. Like a lot of people are doing. I think some guys, Bratty Dog Tapes just did a pressing of one of his albums on. I think it was cassette or CD. So like, I was trying to get that. Like a lot of people fuck with them. I love Nephew, and obviously I love RX Bobby with the good collab, the 12 South Street John, and all that. But I gotta ask, like, when you're making like beats, like what type of VSTs plugins do you like to use to kind of make a whatever energy you're trying to bring out with that type of track that you would be making?
Before I started making Detroit type beats like the ones I'm making now, I would use Omnisphere because I made a lot of other melodic shit back then. But now that I'm making like dark Detroit shit, I'm mainly using one shots, and that's pretty much it. And put halftime on them sometimes. I really don't go too crazy with VSTs because one shots basically do it for me.
What do you mean like one shots? Like just small like sounds like.
It's basically like one shot, like one sound instruments, like violins, pianos, all that.
Yeah, because it's kind of like a more dark, like orchestra type shit, like action movie type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
final
yeah,
battle scene type shit. Like,
exactly.
yeah, bro. Um,
And most and most of the time they already like sound like the way I need them to sound, so I just go with that.
yeah, it's definitely a dark sound. Like, and Detroit's always kind of. I mean, even from the jump. I mean, you look at like acts that came out of there in the beginning, like Isham, ICP, old, like even from like the fucking 80s and 90s. Like it's always been a darker type of sound, honestly.
It's,
But on the topic of Detroit, you know what I mean? Well, besides Detroit, because we've obviously been talking about that, what other places, or do you think, just you personally, your opinion, do you think good music is coming from? Just towns in America?
I was just talking about this the other day with one of my friends. For what I said was Atlanta, um, Texas.
Texas
Texas is
for
hella
sure.
slept on right now. Texas is
Exactly.
hella slept on. But it was one more. I'm gonna say Chicago too. Chicago got a lot of legends from there.
Yeah. Texas too, like a lot of good acts coming out of San Antonio, Dallas, and I think Houston is definitely on the come up again.
Yeah, yeah. It was one dude I liked a lot from Texas. His name was Splurge. I think. Are you familiar with Splurge?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he became one of like image producers. I think it was beat by Jeff and another dude that made that the trend no melody trend, just straight drums. That shit was blowing up hella back then. It was about like 2017 when that was blown up. He still got some recognition to this day though.
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely a lot of shit going down in Texas, for sure.
exactly.
Out of all of them, like, what's your favorite, like, place that you normally listen? Like, what if you go on your playlist? Like, where are most artists from? You feel me?
Playlist. It's been like two places from or three. Well, Detroit, Atlanta, and Chicago. and a few from Texas, but mainly Detroit in my playlist.
Out of all the artists that you like normally listen to and are a fan of, who would you say is someone that you would like to work with?
Someone that I would love to work with for real is Baby Smooth. I, with my beats and him for real, it would definitely fuck some shit up with him.
What songs by him are like you a fan of or albums?
Songs right now, I just started listening to. It's his new song. Well, not new, but it's older in the discography. I just found it about 2 days ago. Trying to go back to it. What was it called? It was called No Security and Track Halt. And besides that, I listen to Raw Sipper by him too on a regular. That's probably one of my favorite songs by him.
And what's the name? I'm gonna look this shit up later. I'm gonna find that shit out.
It's called Baby Smooth.
Alright, bet. And now we've been talking a lot about like, you know what I'm saying, like rap musicians and shit like that. And I know you gotta have some like weird ass non rap shit you listen to. You know what I'm saying? Now I know it's not Taylor Swift level non rap, but like what non rap shit do you listen to on the
Man,
regular?
I got a whole playlist full of non-rap that I listen to with my when I'm like riding with my girl and shit.
Yeah.
Let me go. It's Steve Lacy's one. Brent Fayez, Love SZA. I'll die for SZA. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, I know you do know a Kill Switch.
Bro, I went to a show from him like when he was doing some shit with what's it called? Puya.
Oh yeah, I fuck with Puya heavy. Puya hard as hell.
Puya's always been like he just spit, bro. Like I don't even there's nothing really else to say. Like he's always like been amazing. But Kill Switch is
Actually,
definitely fire.
I'm trying to get like more into Kill Switch because right now I'm just listening to Waste. I'm trying to like find more songs I would like by him for real.
And there's definitely like a lot of artists like with Puya because he kind of rolls with that like all but six crew. They're just doing a tour with like Ramirez and stuff like that. Like they're definitely. I think if you want to see him, let me find this shit out. All tour because he's kind of on a cruise. So if you want to see him, he'll probably he's definitely gonna be in Florida. He's in he's gonna be in Baltimore on May 19th. Let me find this shit out. So you can go if you want. I don't know. They're definitely gonna be in Florida because Puya's from Florida. And I'll just send you a link to that shit later. Yeah, he's gonna be in Orlando May 24th. There we go. So if you want to see Kill Switch, is your opportunity. But well, yeah. What shows you be going? You going on any like rock shows, shit like that?
I've never been to a show a day in my life, to be honest. This might be my first one if I decide to go.
Well, I'm telling you, since I went, bro, that shit was lit. Like, so if you go, you'll like it. There's a lot of moshing though, so be prepared to like
Really.
get fucked up. Like if you're in the wrong place, like if you're in the middle, like if you don't want to get fucked up, either go to the front, go to the side, or go to the back. But if you want to, like, if
Yeah,
you want to fuck someone up and like do some moshing, don't then go in the middle. You know what I mean? But if
yeah,
you don't want to, stay out of the middle. You know what I mean?
yeah. Get to the safe zones.
Yeah, there's safe. Yeah, exactly, bro. Just stay near the merch, the merch table or some shit, or the bar.
Or near the security guards or some shit.
Yeah, and that's fun though. People put like everyone was you know pretty nice and shit. But um, would you like on the topic of shows stuff like that? Have you ever like a lot of I had this discussion with another producer on another a podcast. We were talking about like how producers I mean usually used to go like you started off DJing, then you became a producer. That was like how it was like pre 2010. You know what I mean? And shit like that.
Yeah.
But we some young bulls. To be honest, like I'm 19, so that's not how it goes. It usually goes the opposite. Have you ever thought of getting into DJing, or do you already DJing? And am I ignorant?
I never thought about it to be honest. I always say I don't really don't know what's the process into going on with DJing, so I really probably won't get into that. But it looks hella interesting though.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm like. I'm more kind of on the same thing where I got the equipment, but I don't really know it that well. But the thing is like as producers, what do you? A lot of us have to do some thinking on how we can establish ourselves and find skills. You know what I mean? So it's like I know that you probably got some other skills besides just fucking making beats. Like you probably mix vocals. You know what I'm saying? You got to offer
Hell
services as
yeah.
a producer. You know what I'm saying? It's
I,
like,
I actually do mix vocals because there's a couple local couple rappers I fuck with, local rappers I went to school with. I got a like small little setup in my room. I usually mix their vocals for them. Sometimes they come over, I mix it for them, record it for them and shit like that. Actually, like matter of fact, it was last year around this time too when I started learning how to mix.
yeah, that shit's hard, bro.
Oh,
Like when you're
yeah,
first learning it, it's like trying to make it sound good.
exactly.
And then it's like
Like,
you're doing some shit, and then someone keeps on asking, like, "Can you change this? Can you change that?" And you're like, "What?
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
perfect.
And,
No."
and the crazy part is, I'm actually glad that the people like my local rappers I fuck with, I'm actually glad that they wasn't like that because they know I'll just starting to learn how to mix and shit like that. So it's actually like being patient with me, like taking my time and shit. I mean, it didn't come out as I actually did come out good because I got better and better over time in a quick amount of pace. And plus, I was using Pro Tools to mix at first because I didn't want to use FL Studio. I wanted I want to like see if I get a professional sound because they don't really make like underground shit. They mainly make like Detroit some shit that I like make for like beats and style like that. So just give them like I found like a clear vocal preset. I tweaked that, just get put it on them, put it on their vocals. It's been up from there.
Yeah, like
But
I went to
yeah,
a studio and I was like, "Oh shit, you got Pro Tools?" Because I was rapping and shit. So like, and he was like, "Yeah, that's what professionals use." I was like,
hell yeah,
man, like I still use F. That's why like when I mix my shit solo. Oh, but the thing is, when you're making like loud ass music, it's supposed to kind of sound like shit. You know what I mean? But if you're trying to make
hell yeah,
professional shit, like what I was doing in there today, that day, then it's like Pro Tools professional mixer guy. That's what you need. You know what I'm saying? So props to you on learning Pro Tools because a lot of people think like FL is gonna get them to the top, but you know you gotta what do they say like balance your
hell
palette
yeah,
of talents. You know what I mean?
hell yeah, man.
What would you say is like um harder to use like Pro Tools or FL or Ableton, whatever else you be using?
Never use Ableton, so I'm gonna say Ableton because right now, as of right now, I can just fly through FL or Pro Tools.
Yeah. What about Logic? I see a lot of like RX people use Logic, like
I
RX Tudo to use Logic.
I have Logic, but I looked at it once and never tried to use it again. I just can't use Logic.
It's weird. It's like an Apple software. That's probably why, because it's like
Hell yeah.
GarageBand, but like not GarageBand. Cause it's basically the same as GarageBand, but like GarageBand times 10. Because I think it kind of has the same kind of. It's only on Mac. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Now, what new songs that you have coming out or pro- produce songs or anything else you could announce before we wrap this up?
Uh, like I got some new shit with RC Chapo. That shit just dropped about 2 weeks ago called 1000 Blues. It's on YouTube, music video out and everything. I'm finna get some new shit with my homeboy. His name 4100 Icy. He's a hard ass rapper from Nashville. Uh, I might be dropping an album soon. My album, not RS Poppy's album. My album might be dropping that soon. About over the summer. I don't know yet. Still in the planning phase.
Will that be with you like doing vocals or just like production on that?
Production, like my beats, but other rappers, like Metro Boomin did.
Yeah, yeah. That's another thing. Like any up and coming producer should definitely like do. You know what I mean? Like, cause
Hell
it's
yeah,
fun to do. It's fun to like host your mixtape and shit like that, basically, and get people on it. Kind of have like a good like, cause that's what's good about like tapes that kind of have a consistent producer on it, like executive producer, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? Is that there's a
hell yeah,
consistent sound and like it's normally like producer like hosted tapes are usually like pretty fucking good because it's not just a bunch of random ass songs. You know what I mean?
hell yeah.
Now, what artist would you be getting on that?
Uh, 4100 Icy. Those two local rappers I said earlier, my homeboys. I'm gonna get them on it. Um, I, it's not a promise. It's only not a guarantee, but it's a big ass maybe. Try to get RX Poppy and RSK nephew. That's a maybe though. I don't know yet. Gotta see if they down with it first. and a couple rappers from my collective as well. Yeah,
What
we get.
collective is that?
I own a collective called Ether Beam EB3. Got a hella people in it right now doing good big things. A couple other dudes in there. One of my producers in there got a song with Babyface Ray about
Whew.
2 months ago.
Nice.
Doing big things right now.
Well, shouts out to you. Shouts out to your collective. Shouts out to all shit records, and shouts out to you, Pyro Man, for coming on this fucking podcast,
Appreciate.
man. We're
Thank you for
shining a
having me,
light
bro.
to some good ass artists on this podcast, and you're one of them, man. So I'm excited to hear that tape because I'm a huge RX Poppy fan. I'm excited to hear that next project you're hosting. Just let me know when that comes out. We'll do another
Got you.
podcast, talk about the ins and outs of that. You know what I'm saying, and promote that. So thanks, man, for coming
Yeah.
on the show.
Appreciate. Thank you for having me, my boy.
Yep, that was another episode of Pollute Your Soul. We are doing some podcasts here on the show talking about music, movies, culture, and stuff like that. And you just heard an interview with pyro6x. Now be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, be sure to leave a rating. Peace out.